back, guys. This is episode 8, Famous Last Words. I have not watched Outlander for like 2 weeks now, which is funny because I get in this place where I'm like, I gotta watch as many episodes of Outlander as I possibly can, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I guess I need a break. The last episode was quite emotional for me, and it was intense. I don't believe that it's Roger that has been hanged. I think it's gonna be that Dougal guy, the Dougal lookalike. But yeah, sometimes the series just gets so dark and it's hard to deal with. But I'm back. I'm here. You guys don't know that I wasn't watching these episodes because they're still coming out. I'm gonna hope that everything goes well here. Today is one of those days where I'm having more of a hard time. I've talked about this a little bit, but I think with like newer viewers and people being more new to my channel, especially through Outlander, I have PMDD, which is a really extreme version of PMS, and it is really tough, and it's something that I've lived with since I was 13. So it's tough, and I'm feeling it a lot today. So if you suffer with PMDD, you are not alone. It's excruciating, and I mean that in the physical sense. Physically, it comes out in your body with pains and aches and just like this feeling of overall not good. It's excruciating for the mind, the mental part of things, of the way you view things, how you feel you're being viewed. It's a whole mess of stuff. But I think it should be talked about more. So, I don't know. I was watching this podcast today. It was really funny. And if you guys are familiar with B and Ian and with Jordan, it's a podcast, 2 comedians. And every time I watch their podcast, I'm like, oh, Jordan has some similarities to me. Cool. And today I found out that she had PMDD too. I was like, oh, well, maybe that explains why I have these other things too. Like, yeah, anyways, that's a whole thing just for me. I'm just like, oh wow, we have similar symptoms of stuff. So yeah, if you struggle with it, we're all on the same page. But here we are. I get to watch an awesome show, and it'll take my mind off of things. But if I'm low energy or whatever, that's what's going on. It's trying to keep it all together.
Unless you have any last words for us before you leave.
Famous last words.
What will yours be, sir?
Oh wow, that's so cool. He's breathing. It was Roger? It actually was Roger. Oh my god. Oh my, I literally can't believe I didn't think it would be him at all. How lucky. His neck didn't break, nothing. Whoa. Whoa. 3 months later.
How do you feel? You really should try to speak, Roger.
He hasn't spoken for 3 months.
Just know that I'll be teaching Jem to say sweater in aluminum. It's not going to be jumper or aluminium.
I honestly don't know how he would be feeling. Oh my god, because he took the, oh my god, that is so, because he doesn't have the flour. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know if this is good for me with my PMDD right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like, I can't even breathe. That's that's terrifying.
He was hit by some shrapnel. that he wasn't seriously injured.
We would call that war neurosis. Shell shock.
It's been
It was
months.
3 months. That's not long.
And you said that Roger is physically fine. It is war
Yeah.
neurosis. I mean, it must be mental violence.
Anybody would.
And he has that same 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
No, she's wearing Murtaugh's necklace. I don't know what it is, but as a necklace. I'm glad that they brought him back home. It's a big loss for everybody.
I thought perhaps I could have had a headstone made for him. If only he'd stayed by your side.
He did. He kept his vow to me.
Careful we'd be if we kent which goodbyes were our last.
Yeah, God. It's just, it's so sad. Just, Murtaugh's a huge loss. He really is. Like, was one of my favorite characters. I loved him. I still love him. And then what's happened to Roger, it just, my heart is broken over that. Feels really broken.
I offer my apologies for the injury done to your son-in-law. It was a most regrettable error.
Oh yeah, just a damn letter?
The Tryon has granted Roger 5,000 acres in the back country.
Well, that's nice, I guess, but... So he put his hand like this. Oh, and he caught it. I see. Oh, wow. Wow. Roger really has done these things that are so remarkable. He hasn't, oh my God, dude. I don't know how you come back from that. I don't know. I don't know. That seems the worst thing that's happened in the, again, Roger getting punched in the face by Jamie, and then this now. These are really horrible things.
An instrument you can use to find your position, whether on land or at sea.
That's so sweet.
You can even use it to tell the time.
5:30.
Okay, hold on. Don't you, he
I'm
can't just
55.
step up behind people like that. That would make anyone's heart go.
I guess we don't have all the answers.
Sometimes we must have patience.
Thank you, John.
And that Tom Hanks says that. And above all else, just wait. That one in like famous quote he does on that the Hollywood Round Table. Such a amazing quote. But yeah, just wait.
Tea's ready.
Oh, his voice came out. Oh, kids. I swear to God. All day long, they're trying to kill themselves. All day. All day. And then they cry when we're like, don't kill yourself. Breathe, please. Brianna, I don't think you realize the weight of this. Oh, it's so sweet to see them with a baby together.
2, 3.
Claire, take Jamie and go to the cabin.
A boar? Oh, shoot. What? Whoa. Is that Ian? Oh my God.
We thought we'd never see you again.
Will anyone be coming after you, lad?
Oh my God, he's back.
In celebration.
Oh. He seems like he's been through a lot too. Oh. You know what? This reminds me of Batman Begins. We just watched this last night, me and my kids. And it's like Bruce Wayne is terrified of bats because of his accident, and then he has to overcome that fear, and he literally becomes the Batman. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. It's like face your fear, face the deepest, darkest part of your fear. This is all about the healing process. You have to do it. It's
my mistake.
It's the magic, baby.
We're
It's
trying.
happening.
But I went through something awful too. Something dark and ugly, and believe me, all I wanted to do was to crawl into a hole and die. And I don't, because I have a husband and a son who need me. I fought for us. I need you. Jemmy needs you.
Wait, Marcelly is pregnant again?
Special almond hogs pudding.
Marcelly, stop. Or I should say, Fergus. Stop it.
What a tale you must have to tell.
Stop.
Marcelly is so
Don't leave
funny.
anything out.
Like, and Fergus, too.
You already came in the beginning. People.
He's so different. This is the thing, like, Ian's completely different. He used to be super chatty all the time. It's the thought of what if he didn't grab on? It's this thought that's just like, what if it was this way, what if it was that way, what if it happened this way, what if it was this way, what if it was that way? Oh, children are so sweet. Roger, I think that's just the perfect pair right now. They need each other. And it's like interesting because Ian sold him, and then Ian gave his life to save him, and now they need to come back together.
Have you prescribed anyone some water hemlock?
No? Why?
It's just there's some missing. There's only one root left. So I thought. It's just it's so dangerous.
I could have sworn
Oh
we
my
had at least 4
God.
or 5 pieces of the root left.
Does Ian have it?
What's that?
Oh, you know what? They probably didn't have paper airplanes back then. I don't know. Like, who discovered it? Who invented it? Oh, right. They don't have an airplane. Wow. I'm a lost person sometimes. Wow. I'm gonna fly it off. Burying the hatchet. Wow, that's crazy. From the beginning of this episode. He's literally burying the hatchet, though. Did he take the hemlock? Like, I don't understand what's...
Why would you stop me? I saw you looking down the cliff. I ken what you were thinking. A wife that loves you. Bairn. And still you didn't want to be with them. Tell me, what did you see? I saw my wife's face. And there's no escape. Even in death, would see her face. What was her name?
Did he have he was gonna have a family with her and she died? Was she pregnant?
I got up again and fight. Can you?
God, I'm so happy they were together. They needed to be together. Roger is literally becoming one of my favorite characters in this series. I hated him so much. It's so funny.
Part of me died that day. The hanged man. Maybe this was my fate. That face was yours.
Wow. Wonderful. Seeing Ian was a complete surprise. I didn't think he'd come back, or if he did come back, it'd be way, way in the end of like maybe season 7 or something. I'm not sure what he went through really. When he says that the woman he loved was lost to him, does that mean she just didn't want to be with him anymore? Like they broke up, or because she is not dead, so I'm not sure if I just didn't understand it, if it was this sort of breakup thing. And he probably saw certain things that are just really, really tough. So I guess whatever the case is, Ian coming back is just really awesome. He's been changed. He's not going to really ever be the same Ian. The same way that Roger was like, people want me to go back to how I was. And I think over time, they'll kind of go back to that place, but they are changed. Like I think it's just what happens with life. You go through things, and especially if you go through hardships, like if you go through a war, if you go through a divorce, if you go through a loss of a child, a loss of someone you love, you're changed, and it's tough because you kind of have to keep moving forward, and obviously not everyone does, not everyone can, and there's like no judgment on my part because I completely understand. I really do how hard it can get inside the mind. So yeah, so it's nice to see that Ian and Roger were able to come together. It was a beautiful moment, and Roger was able to save Ian, and it's like he also is struggling, so it's good that they were able to come together. And what he has to have on him for the rest of his life. He could be cooking, cleaning, and talking to his baby, and he's going to get the flashback of him being hanged. And it's not going to go away. And maybe in a year it'll be slightly less, and 5 years it will be slightly less. Maybe something else is just going to trigger it, and this is just what it's going to be. So when people talk about trauma, it doesn't go away. It's a scar. It's there. Scars heal, but they're never gone. So it becomes something that's hard, and it makes each scar we get along the way of life makes things more tough and less flexible. You're able to heal from things. It's just not the same. You're not going to be the same. And I think that is something that I really want. I want it to be more talked about, because I think, and I used to think like this too, and now I've been through too much to think like this, but it's not a fairy tale that we live in. We really live in a world that is not fair, that is really hard, and a lot of it is out of our control, and that causes some mental distress, and that's putting it lightly. So I get it. I have my own mental struggles that I've just got to get through every single day, and it's not easy to do. It's not easy, and but you have to, because you realize the weight, the who's relying on you, what do you need to do, and so I really think that they did a really beautiful job of expressing the pain that Roger was going through. I really understood Brianna. Like, I can't sit here and say that I wouldn't feel the same way, because I've been that way. I've been really bad in past relationships where I've been so selfish and very much like not understanding the other person and just being like, why are you doing this? Is it because I did something? And now looking back, it's like, you can't do that. It's really hard on someone. Like, people are their own people, and even though I'm having like a thing, like I want to help, or I feel like, did I do something to upset you? That's, if it's like this constant thing, like it's not fair. After my experiences and realizing that life is long, and if you are in like this partnership with someone that you love, there's just going to be ups, and then there's going to be downs, and you don't know how long it's going to be a down, and you don't know how long it's going to be up, but this is what you chose, and hopefully you've chosen someone you really love and who really loves you, and so you know at the end of the day, like, it's going to be okay, and like that person's going to work hard on trying their best, and you're going to work hard on trying your best, and it's like, yeah, but when you're in that situation, I don't, who knows how you feel. It's just a bunch of emotions. So I like, it's just beautiful writing, and I really do appreciate how Outlander, they talk about really tough subjects, like what happened with Jamie and Jack Randall, what happened with Bree and Stephen Bonnet, all these really hard things where people would want to say, you know what, I'm done. I can't go on. This is too much. And we see the process of each person individually getting out of the dark hole and seeing how hard it is, and them finding the light again, and finding their joy, and finding peace. But they don't really sugarcoat it here. They really, for a TV show and a book, it's really showing like the realities of the world. And of course, there's always some happiness, but I appreciate that because I think it helps us in some way, because if we're going through something really hard, watching this series, it gives us hope that, well, if they can overcome this, maybe I can overcome what I'm going through, or at least work with it. And that's why I was saying I don't know if overcoming is like the right word, because I don't think there comes a day where you completely are conquered this. I think it could be, maybe, but I think it does get easier with time, and there shouldn't be a rush. I think it just should be like, yeah, this is what life is now, for now, and I mean, that's easier said than done. Like, if you're actually in it, you're, but yeah, I can understand in some ways, because going through my own stuff, and the hardest time of my life has been in the last few years, and learning about my mental health and autism and all of this, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that makes more sense. And then not being able to do certain things that I could do, that's probably the hardest part for me, is something happened, I don't know, it's just like everything came to a head, and like my confidence, my belief in myself, all of it went out the window, became extremely shy, panic attacks, just fearful, fear of death, fear of all of these things, and having like these things, like I can't explain it. It was very similar to like these flashbacks of things that were like it would just freeze me in my tracks, and so just wanting to go in that hole that Brianna is talking about, I completely understand. Like, even just sitting here and filming was something that was really, really hard for me to do. So it was, but I had to keep doing it. Like, I couldn't stop. Yeah, I guess you just find the strength that's inside of you, and if you have support systems, then that's so good. And I have kids, so that's where I guess I find my like energy to keep going, because yeah, it's hard to explain it, like, and it's like, yeah, well, you're silly, how are you having these things? But it's things that happened when I was younger, and I think they're like coming out, and because I'm facing them now, so everything's kind of coming out, and I'm like, whoa. So it's an injury, it feels like, and so now it's like having to relearn how to walk or ride a bike, and it's difficult, but So I said these types of episodes are very helpful for me personally, and I hope I'm sure they're very helpful for so many of you. If you've been through anything really tough, I mean, I'd love to know. You can comment down and let me know, and we all have, I think for the most part, most people have been through something. But yeah, we just try. I think that's